7:1. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of Most High God, whom made Abraham returning from the slaughter feast of desert king. Spiritual family within close family. Ties in spiritual reckoning. Everyone should visit every family to give assignments for Endtime and counseling. The problems they encounter, our mission here. Like a spiritual family and super church is to bring these guys to another. Not just loyalty in the group, but we should bring to them. Jesus Christ, by becoming Berean, his loyalty is the word of God. Ephesians 5:26, that he might sanctify and cleanses and with a washing of water by the word. Everyone should intervene that very individual family member of the church should speak word, should study and be Berean to his word, should raise them be mature by having a conversation and training in their own. They will come to an ideal time by watching work TV, computer games.
It's in the end. It's in the corner. It's in the end.
Communication, etc. By intervene to another.
No. Go to the plastic.
Revelation, and they will wash my words in their hands. That's all. Thank you.
Already because take only one second.
Shout hallelujah.
Would like.
The Lord. Amen. My report is all about completion 2000. This week is about 46.
Okay. Don't continue.
46.
Continue it. Continue it.
And they continued daily with one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house, eating their meal with gladness and singleness. They went from house to house bringing the word of God. So, like breaking a bread and sharing one another. So, they exhorting one another. In Genesis 14:17-19, and the Melchizedek king of Salem brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. 19, and he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abraham the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. So Melchizedek blessed others by including Abraham. So the spiritual bread and wine, like Melchizedek, he blessed Abraham. We also, when we are visiting others, so we are exhorting one another. So the brethren is spiritually blessed them. In Genesis 18:1-10, therefore are ye come to the servant, and they said, So do as thou hast said, and I will fetch a morsel of bread and comfort your hearts. After that we shall pass on. So we have focused on ministering others. So we're going to their house to bring them the message and comfort their hearts. So, and we have a counseling session and their problems and reckoning the assignment that given to them. So they partake the word of God as their own lifestyle. So in Revelation 3:20, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will stand before him and he with me. So that's like Christ knocking at the door in our hearts. So in literal, this is a door, but in spiritual, it is our heart. Our heart. So we also knock at the door and of the others to bring them Christ's message for the fellowshipping or the exhorting one another. So they cherish and welcome Jesus Christ and brings up and fellowship with him. That's the thing. Is all about the intervention. We can read in James 5:19-20. 5:19.
English. Don't talk.
Brethren,
Go to your knees.
from the truth of one
Knees
the
is
intervention comes from the Latin intervenire, meaning to come between, interrupt, or we intervene to others. So an intervention is intended to make things better. In the Bible, there was an intervention. Number one, God. God, He always intervene for us. So if God did not intervene to us, He intervene, we have no salvation in Matthew 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, and God will come in time to intervene so that everyone should not die. Number 2, Abraham. Abraham intervened for Lot, but Lot did not ask Abraham to Abraham, but Abraham intervened. It's called that automatic. But so we can intervene to others, your brethren, and we should train our children to be a partner by visitation house to house and telling them home training, giving them assignments and counseling prayers and session. In Genesis 14, verse 14. And when Abraham heard that his brother was taken captive, he was his favorite servant born in his own 318 verse 14. So in the progressive ministry is called the super church. Everyone should have burden to each other family by record. So we can intervene to other family, then giving them assignments. Everyone should help each other. The real workers of God is tell what is the will of God, and even it's painful. That's all.
okay. Loisa.
Bye.
Where? Sister Ann, here. You first. You next. Gerald, do you have? Next time, you should not wear that.
And there is our good evening, everyone. Should I speak English?
Of course.
Or,
It is required.
my report is all about the community 2017. So,
Right. So my report is all about Communion 2017. So the topic is remember when thou art fallen, do the first works. So this is the plan of Judas Iscariot. So there's a question here that says that does Judas' plan was really 30 pieces of coin of silver? So Judas has his own strategy. So we all know that Judas did not betray Christ just for the sake of coins or that 30 pieces of coins or silver, right? He knew Christ very much, and he knew how powerful Christ is because he witnessed it in his own eyes. And this is not just for the money. There are other part of the plan, or there is the really main reason why he betrayed Christ. So what is the reason? So if we really search what is the ulterior motive of Judas about that, we need to read the Bible also. So we need to we can see it on when the time that Judas Judas when he returned the money or the coin to the Pharisees and Sadducees, we can see that the money is not really the motive of Judas. He just wants Jesus Christ to reign, and he thought that when he betrayed Christ, Christ will use his power for him to not be killed. But of course, we already saw what was coming there. Christ was killed on the cross. But here in John 10:7-8 it says that I have power to lay down and take again. Meaning, his death was in the will of the Father and Christ. But Judas knew that Christ can die because of his power and strength. He is the eyewitness. Even after the feeding of the 5,000 people, they want Christ to be the king on that time, but it is not the will of the Father. Christ is obedient to the will of his Father, not by using his own strategy. So when the time that Jesus Christ was feeding the 5,000 people, they all want Jesus Christ to be the king, but we all know that the will of the Father is not for Jesus Christ to reign at that time, because the reigning of Jesus Christ will be at the millennium, right? So Judas has a revelation about the reigning of Christ, but it was not enough, or we can say that it's incomplete, like that. So the Pharisees was really concerned about the power that Christ has for the people, because Christ was really influential also at that time. So they were worried about the nations of Israel and the kingdom. That's why they want Christ to die. And many people are believing to Christ, and suddenly the Romans will come and destroy them. So they thought that Christ will start rebellion for the kingdom, and people, and even the disciples, believe that he will reign. But those Sadducees and Pharisees don't want to believe that Christ is the fulfillment of the scriptures, because they were blinded. And they think that Jesus Christ is just one of the impostors, because that time, if we see the history of the church, there are so many people, or there's so many that claiming that they are the Messiah. So they thought that Jesus Christ was just one of them, was just one of that imposter. So they wants to destroy them, and the Romans will kill them. So, is Christ concerned about the present political kingdom? So the disciples was very conscious of restoring kingdom during that time. But we all
Yes,
know
right.
that the restoring of the kingdom was not at that time.
Yes.
So it will be restored. We all know that it will be restored in millennium. And of course, Jesus Christ will reign with his bride. So they have revelation, but it's not really, or it's not incomplete revelation that we have now. That we know, because we know that Jesus Christ will reign at the millennium. So the disciple asked Christ for restoration of kingdom of Israel. They have their own understanding of how the prophecy fulfilled. They want it to be fulfilled by their own selves, like Judas. So Judas really just cling on her own understanding. So that's why he committed that betrayal to Jesus Christ. That's all. Thank you. I don't know. How much is the currency of that in this time? I don't know.
30 silver, 30 pieces of silver.
I don't know. But I think that time it will be, yes, it's a very big money also. But
Actually, it's not a big man.
yes, it's only silver. There are gold coins also at that time, right?
It's not a big
So
money.
it's not really that big. But when I read it, I have a question. Why in this verse, in Matthew 26:15, it said that, it said unto them, what you will give me, and I will deliver him unto you. Why Judas questioned the Pharisees about the reward that he will get if at the end he will just throw it away? Because he said it in the 15th, what will he give me, and I will deliver him unto you. And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. So, I don't know, I'm just confused about that.
What will he give me?
Yes. Judas asked, what will he give me, and I will deliver him unto you.
They will not they will not need more money for that, because it can cause trouble for the Pharisees and Sadducees.
So that's
Why? Because they can call or they will be what do you call that? That can cause they can use that money, if it is very big money, they can cause trouble for them. So they just need 30 pieces of silver so
It's
that
just like for formality.
yes. For me,
I'm just thinking, because if Judas was, if Judas didn't really want the money, he should have give Jesus Christ to the Pharisees without fee or without that reward.
I think he thinks that it's also the benefit because he's the treasurer, right?
Yes.
So, parang-
yeah, for the benefit of the
The funds that they have.
because they have their communism for that, biblical communism.
It's like he
They use
two
money.
birds in one stone.
So
That's what Judas is thinking.
Judas was really smart.
Because he's thinking that Jesus will reign and at the same time he will get 30 pieces of gold.
Silver.
According to your report, you believe that Jesus Christ is really
That time po.
I believe that Jesus Christ will reign at the millennium.
How about when you say that?
Can you speak louder, please?
Brother Peddy, can you
You believe that Jesus Christ is reigning in millennium. How about when you're sitting the throne? When
here, Brother Peddy?
the throne is there.
You believe that Jesus will reign in millennium.
Please use English word.
I speak to English.
Okay.
According to your report, that Jesus Christ reigning in millennium. But when he's sitting the throne, did you consider that it's reigning? Reigning
on the throne.
Of course not.
in heaven,
But
in
because
heaven.
right now he is sitting in the
You
throne.
believe is only reigning in millennium. How about it when he is sitting the throne?
Sitting on the throne?
Is he reigning
Yung
Is he reigning
today?
today?
can you consider that he is reigning?
Today. Because he is sitting in the
He's not reigning in literal sense.
Yes, because spiritually, yes, he was reigning because he was reigning in us. He was reigning in his spiritual kingdom.
Yeah, no.
Yes, individually, but not yet physical or literal, just like on the
I'm
millennium.
not saying
Speak
about our
English.
physical body.
Continue.
So, because I believe also that Jesus
What are you writing?
That when he sits
Simon,
in the throne,
what are you writing?
can you consider that he begins of reigning?
Don't
when did he sit
focus
on that throne?
In Revelation chapter 5, did you
Take
read in Revelation chapter 5 when he sits in the throne?
When was that? What's the time?
In heaven, in heaven.
Yes, when he ascended.
When God gave him the power.
After he ascended, he reigned on the throne.
No. After the resurrection, after the raise up from the dead, he went to the Father.
The mic. Use
In
the
heaven, in
the
heaven.
mic, the blue mic.
In our time, Brother Freddy.
It's not in our time in heaven. When he's sitting the throne.
Excuse me. Can you please focus here first?
Because according to your report, Jesus Christ only.
You can go to outside.
But when Jesus Christ raised up from the dead, now he's sitting the throne. Can you consider that he's reigning of the reigning?
Yes, he is reigning
In
already
heaven.
in heaven and in spiritual and in individual, in us individually. But what I'm pertaining about reigning is that because the disciples want Jesus Christ to reign physically on the kingdom, so I'm pertaining about the physical reign of Jesus Christ, just like in the millennium.
What is the difference about the king that is reigning? About reigning?
Reigning spiritually and literally is different.
Reigning is
Yes.
king.
Yes,
As king,
Kingdom.
they're
as a
different.
ruler, you're a ruler of the
So
kingdom.
can you consider that the same
No, that's not the
position or
same.
designation?
Simon.
What can I sit the same in the same position?
Reigning a kingdom.
Can reign in the kingdom also.
The difference.
What is the difference of
Difference of reigning literally.
spiritual and literal?
Literally.
What is the difference?
Big difference.
There is, you can really see it on your own eyes because when he's reigning on the
Christ did not
spiritual,
reign in all people.
he's not
here.
reigning in all of us or in the world or the people, but when he is reigning on the literal from in the millennium, you will see that he will really reigning. He is really reigning in all of the world, all of the people here. But when he's reigning on the spiritual or individually only, he was reigning on those people who accepted him.
Yeah, I understand, but I want to know you that the reigning, according to your report, is only specific in millennium.
Yes, because I didn't really go on the spiritual side of reigning of Jesus Christ. I'm just pertaining about the literal reigning or the physical reigning.
In millennium is not a literal or spiritual.
Literal.
It's both, I guess. It's both.
Both.
He's reigning in physical and in spiritual. But right now, he is not reigning here in the world physically because
lobat
there-
before you inject. The lobat.
who is reigning here? I mean, Satan is reigning physically here in the world. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
So what do you think the Judas thinking is the same with the thinking of the devil? Do you agree?
Yes.
Because when Jesus when he was when they are in the upper room or on the last supper, Jesus said, one of you here is devil.
Yes. I guess. When
So the thinking of Judas
is
the same thinking of the devil. Because the devil used Judas.
Yes, but I read somewhere that Judas was not really possessed by a devil,
Okay.
but he just, leaned on his own understanding. But I guess there is still a devil in that because when you lean on your own understanding, you clearly is leaning on the understanding of man, which is really dangerous or devil also. So I guess there's something devil in that or bad, something evil also.
So when Jesus said, "Let this cup pass from me," do you think that is of the devil? Jesus don't.
Yes.
His body, his physical body,
Yes, he was scared on
He
that
was
time,
scared.
right?
and he said, "Father, let this cup pass from me." So his body thinking, uh, uh, he
I
don't.
think that's something about the human nature. When you know that you are nearing on your death, you are really scared. But I think it's really not devil because Jesus Christ is still
There.
surrendered to the plan of God. So I think that's
So when he said, "Let this cup pass from me," then a while ago he said, "Thy will be done, O Lord. Not my will, but your will."
yes. I think it's just it's just because of yes, I believe it's just because of his fear.
So what is the will of God that time? On that scene, when Jesus when Judas or when Jesus was betrayed
What is the will?
of the Father on that time.
I think the will of the Father at that time is for Jesus Christ to really be
To do what he
to do what he wants,
he
or
wants. What's
yes,
his will.
just sacrifice his life and surrender on the cross because we all know that even though many people will or many times Jesus Christ they were really trying to kill Christ, but Jesus Christ always what do you call that? He used his power to not or I guess what do you call that? Because when the time when he was being arrested, right, he teleported and Judas saw that. So I think really that time was the will of the Father and he really surrendered to the will of the Father.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's all.
Maybe someone will speak English. Okay. Go on.
Anyone will continue English? What is your topic? About numbers chapter 12.
Okay.
So I
Continue.
can,
Continue the English record.
but this is called Endtime Endtime series. Cogeo.
I will post this in Endtime Chronicles.
So my topic is all about Numbers. Book of Numbers, chapter 12, 1 until
Simon, open your Bible.
so
Use
please read
English. Read your Bible.
Numbers, chapter 12. So may I read? And Miriam and Aaron speak against Moses because of the Ethiopian
Open the
woman
Bible. Open the Bible.
whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. So, who do you know who is that Ethiopian woman? Who is that Ethiopian woman?
The wife of Moses.
What verse, Brother
Right
Magellan?
there.
The wife of
Magellan?
Moses.
The wife
What
of
verse?
Chapter 12, verse 1.
Of Genesis?
No.
Number. Huh?
No?
Miriam was the sister of Moses and Aaron.
The wife of
And
Moses.
The father of, or the mother of Moses was Amram. So Amram came from the lineage of Levi. Am I right, Brother Francis? So after Moses came out in the land of Egypt, then according to the prophet, he was king in the backside of the desert. Backside of the desert is equivalent to run away from the presence of the Lord. Then after 40 years, God met him in the burning bush. Then God intervened for him and he introduced himself in order that he was stand for, and God gave him a commission to bring the people out of Egypt from bondage. So when Moses met the woman, an Ethiopian woman, these people were, we could say, anger, because Moses was get his wife or married an Ethiopian woman which is not belong to their lineage. Ethiopian woman is came from what lineage? Brother Fidi? Huh? So we must be a truth seeker. No? Or else you will be, you must be known.
From Ham.
Huh?
Lineage from Ham.
Ethiopian is equivalent from the word, it is the Cushiite. Cushiite,
Ham.
no?
To Cusite.
So Cushite, Cush is from the lineage of Ham. No? We could see Ham and his son
Ethiopia.
was cursed by God by committing sin against his father. Take note, the character of people, if they did not agree the woman they belong to, he was being injured. Even his brothers, sisters, he was being injured to his brother. Right? So, Miriam and Aaron speak against Moses because the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, or he had married an Ethiopian woman. Ethiopian woman was Sephora. Right?
That's
Sephora, Ethiopian today is Sudan, right? What
Ethiopia is Ethiopian country.
Ethiopian country?
Yes.
Yes, so Sephora is from the lineage of
Ethiopia.
Cush. Yes,
Midianites.
Midianite, Sephora. So take note, Sephora,
Uh,
even though it was a different lineage, but God permitted to be married because God did not look what color are you. Either you are white or black, brown color.
brown color.
If
But
God-
Magellan, Midian is part of Persia.
Part of Persian. Yes. So, Sephora was a
Midianite.
Midianite, but Sephora bring his children to God by means of circumcision. He circumcised the children because it was the order of Abraham. If you have if you had get a woman to be married, you must be, you must be circumcised. You could not get you cannot get a woman except you have been circumcised, because it was the law. You are not belong to the lineage or part of this descendant if you are not circumcised. That was the law of Abraham. So these people are trying to assert the authority of Moses. See? Verse 2. And they said, have the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? So, hath he not spoken also by us? So take note. No? There's a lot of people, or there's a lot of believers today that they speak it out that they were not only Moses speak it out, God deal with them also. But the dealing of God for them is different from Moses, right? So, these people arguing Moses, trying to assert their authority, but they didn't recognize that Moses was the man of God. They exert themselves that they are also called by God. They are also God also gave them the God talked to them. No? So God were angry with them. Verse 3. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. So, take note, the man Moses was very meek. What is meek in very humble, right?
Meek.
Bago.
Meek. No.
Humble,
Meek means humble. Yes.
deeply patient above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation, and the three came out. So God speak to them by means of what we call of today, they were counseled by God. God counseled for them because of their attitude and character for their brethren Moses. Right? God seen his character and attitude towards Moses. And then God seen him. But God told him in the tabernacle, the congregation, and Aaron and Miriam was called by God. Then he was a counsel for them. Verse 5, and the Lord came down in the pillar of clouds, and he stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. But these two, Moses was not included in conversation to Miriam. Then, and he said, hear now my words. The Lord said to Aaron and Miriam, and he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. So, according to the Numbers, the Lord, which is God, Yahweh, Jehovah, he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. So God dealt a prophet with a vision and with a dream. But this speaking to Aaron and Miriam, it is different from Moses. Verse 6. verse 7. So, what is the difference between the
My servant
verse 6
is
and 7?
Who is faithful in all my house.
What is the difference? Verse 3.
Different because what the first thing is only God is spoken only the prophet. But these two men is not
Huh?
but these two men that Miriam and Aaron is not considered as a prophet. That's why God only give only the vision and to know that only the prophet.
Hmm? So, God will make known to the prophet by means of the vision and the dreams. But Moses,
It's not so.
my servant Moses is not so. It's different from the other prophet, right? Who is faithful in all my house? Moses was different from the other prophet. Miriam was a prophet, right? Miriam was the prophetess.
When Aaron was
But it was different from Moses. With him will I speak mouth to mouth. In the other prophet, God speak to him by a vision, by a dreams, but Moses is God speak to him by mouth to mouth. You can see the difference? So,
Is he a prophet?
Yes.
verse 8. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and the similitude of the Lord shall behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? According to God, according to the Lord of God of Moses, says, you did not afraid to speak against Moses. God speak to Miriam and Aaron. You did not afraid? O hindi ka ba natatakot na magsasalita kay Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the Lord departed. Take note, after that, after the counsel of God to Miriam and Aaron, when the clouds, the pillar of clouds, departed from the tabernacle. Take note, according to our testimony in last Sunday, the pillar of clouds and the pillar of fire is God used for them as a leading in a day and a night, the pillar of clouds in a day and the pillar of fire by night. So speak about the grace of God and the judgment of God. Right, Brother Francis? The pillar of clouds and the pillar of fire speak of the grace of God and the judgment of God. So, when the cloud appeared in the tabernacle, it was the judgment of God, not for Moses. It was a judgment of God towards the people against Moses. Did you get it, Brother Freddy? So, and the clouds departed, verse 10, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle. What happened to Miriam? What happened to Miriam, Sister July? Ha? Hindi kayo nakikinig.
Leprosy.
Ha? What happened to Miriam, Brother Gerald? Ha? You are out of town.
She
Already.
gets sick.
Ha?
She gets sick.
So, after the pillar of clouds departed out of tabernacle, and behold, Miriam become
Namatay siya sa loob.
Leprosy.
Lepros.
What is lepros?
Lepros.
What kind of disease? Lepros?
Keto.
Huh?
Keto. Keto.
Skin disease, that your skin, like, what color of your skin? Huh? What color of your skin? If you have a leprous disease,
She have
What
one.
color?
She have one.
huh?
One. One.
One?
Sugat. One.
One. My question is, what color if you have an leprosy?
Red.
Lepros. Huh?
Reddish.
White. Why Miriam
Reddish.
have a leprous? Because Miriam want Moses to be married a white collar man, a white collar woman. No?
White color.
That's why God bring him diseases for them. So, Miriam become leprous, white as snow. Take note, white as snow. White as snow.
And Miriam looked.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam,
Miriam.
and behold, she was leprous. Instantly, after the clouds depart from the tabernacle, then suddenly the curse of God towards Miriam instantly be effective. That's the reason why we could not disrespect
Scratch the.
to the man of God,
Because it's not very good to hear.
whoever it is.
Why?
You must not laugh like Sarah, because that is the spirit of unbelief towards your brethren. You understand? That's why we must teach the what we call the respect. Respect to the man of God, respect to the elders, respect to those who bear the words of God, in order that we could not sin against God. Did you understand? So, and Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord. Moses was crying, witnessing the anger of God towards Miriam. So, because it was the sister of Moses, Miriam, the hearts of Moses was crying out and said, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us. So, Aaron asking Moses to intervene to Miriam. And Aaron respect Moses when Aaron seen the testimony, when the judgment of God bring to his sisters Miriam. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, Aaron called Moses as a Lord. Why? Why Aaron called Moses as Lord?
Because God make him.
It is the sign of respect of Aaron that Moses was a man of God. Right? So, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us. Why Aaron including himself as a sinner? Because he was also the one uniting Miriam to be against Moses. So that is why the sin of Miriam was also the sin of Aaron. But Aaron was not stubborn. Wherein we have done foolishly. He acknowledged that he have sinned
Amen.
against Moses.
Amen.
The only thing that we have been forgiven, we must accept
You must
We
practice
must-
your English.
we must declare,
The Tagalog word.
we must accept that we are sin against other to the brother.
Of the Tagalog word.
So, and wherein we have sinned, let there not be as one dead, of one the flesh of half consumed. Bago pa namin speak, if you have not the Holy Ghost, if you have not the Holy Spirit in you, you are called a half dead. What half dead means? Barfidi. What half dead means? Huh?
You're dead.
Half dead.
Better than dead. No?
What half dead means?
Ano yun?
Yung kanyang faith.
Stroke.
Huh?
Update.
Yung kanyang, medyo luwan dito may doubt.
What the prophet means? You are half-dead Christian. He said, you are half-dead Christian.
Lukewarm.
You are alive. No? You are alive, but you are dead. You are alive, but you are dead because the Holy Spirit was not
In you.
in you. No?
Yun. Patay.
God wants us to be alive in the Spirit. No? Not as alive, but you are dead spiritually. So, and let there not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. So, verse 13.
Plastic inside. Could you get it out? Because
So, Moses entered into God toward his sister, and Aaron.
Plastic.
And Moses cried out. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now. Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. So, Moses asking for God for repentance, for her forgiveness for her sister. He was intervening. He was intercessor between God and man towards his brother or sister. He was a type of Jesus Christ. Christ is the mediator between God and man. Right? So Moses is the mediator also between God and man towards his sisters and brothers. And Moses cried out unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, so this verse in verse 14, we have a message about the forgive no things. You know what? Forgive no things, perfectly. Did you know the forgive no things? You did not
Parang ako
If there will be
It is nothing new.
It is not only by means of the words of thank you. No? It is not. You will be suffer many things before God will be forgiven. But it is the reason why Miriam died. No? The shortest days of Miriam. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had put spit in her face. So what means spit? Really?
Speak.
Oh, spit.
Speaks.
Spit.
Speak.
And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? What spit means?
Saliva out.
throwing saliva.
So it was the shameful,
Disrespect.
it was a shameful manner towards your father, or if the father speak you out, then you are shameful. Shamefulness. That's what the term shame. You are shame in his face. No, from his face. So, let her be shut out from the camp 7 days. And the Lord commanded Moses, Miriam could not enter into the tabernacle or in the camp. It was in the outside of the camp, or outside the tabernacle. He could not enter until the 7 days will finish. It was the what we call this? It was punishment. The punishment of God to Miriam. He could not enter. That's why the Israel could not go beyond to travel by day, because Miriam was already sin. He was considered as a sinner if they had continued to walk. No? If you had continued to travel, to go. No. Because the commandments of God, they were not moved beyond the camp without the pillar of clouds at that day, at that time. He could not be moved. If the pillar of clouds be moved, then the Israelites will follow. That's the reason why we need the called the leader. So the leaders. We could say that we are not Moses. We are not Moses was not the only speak by the mouthpiece of God. We are also, according to Miriam, we are also the spokesperson of God, the mouthpiece of God. But your mouth, you become the mouthpiece of God, is different from the prophet, is different from Moses.
Against the prophet. Against the prophet.
God spoke to you, but not according to the prophet Moses, when God dealt with the prophet. So, according to Moses, according to God, to Miriam, I speak it out by the prophet in the vision and the dreams, but Moses is different from them. Right? That's why we could not say that Brother Francis is not only the voice of God. No? The prophet William Branham is not the only the voice of God, but your voice and the voice of the prophet is different. That's why we could not be
The voice of God and the voice of the prophet.
we could not be against brother to brother. We could not be against the man of God. If this is what I learned about the prophet. If you think that the prophet are misleading or misbehaving, misunderstood, then you must be a proper way to approach to them. According to the prophet, if I am wrong with you, present me where I am wrong. Put it in the table and bring it out that I am wrong. So that's the way of the prophet. But don't be against the prophet of God, because you have been given the punishment. So let there not be as one dead, according to Aaron, above the flesh of what have consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried out unto the Lord, saying, Hail her now, O God, I beseech thee. So even Moses are intervening, even his brothers is against with them. Against her. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? let her be shut out from the camp 7 days. And after that, let her be received it again. God did not, what we call this, whatever sins of his brother, God forgive them, but God will give the punishment in order to bring it back again. So, and after that, let her be received it again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. Miriam was suffered leprous 7 days out of the camp. They were not entered in, and that is the punishment of God. So there is what we call this, Brother Francis, in our part of training in your home. If your child sins against you, against your command, then don't hesitate to punish them, because God also punished them.
Do not compromise.
Don't compromise the sin. Don't compromise the sin.
Do not compromise the punishment.
Don't compromise the punishment. If the punishment is what you have done in order to bring it back again, then you should be punished. Don't wait that God will punish for them, for your child, for your sons and daughters. Don't wait that God will punish for them. Right? If God commands you to be punished, then let them be punished. And then let's see what's happening for your child. God will hold His promise to us. So when Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. So we can see that the people of Israel did not travel or journey. Journey is the equivalent as a travel to go out until Miriam will come back it again. Because if they travel, the sin of Miriam will be carried it out. Right, Brother Francis? They will not go to travel. They will not allow to travel if the sin of these people, of the people, is with them. So that's why afterward, the people removed after Miriam, after the punishment, then the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched it in the wilderness. So, I've learned what reason in this chapter. That's why when I post, did Moses married twice? Because I thinking that this book of Numbers, chapter 12, that Zipporah was died because he was the first. She was a first wife of Moses. So the Bible, I inquired in the Bible, Zipporah was not mentioned that he was died. Am I right, Brother Francis? Where did he go?
Where did she go?
Where did she go? Where did she go?
Back to their father.
They back to their father, but the Bible is not mentioned that Zipporah was go back into his father's house or the camp. But Zipporah was used by God in order to save Moses because of his he was doing something different to his children. The children of Zipporah. Who is the children of Zipporah?
Yes, so Eliezer.
Barbidi. Who is the children of Zipporah and Moses?
Gerson and
You could
Eliezer.
not
Gerson.
tell yet. So, Gerson. And Gerson, this is the two brother, and then he was circumcised. He was circumcised. Sipora was circumcised. Except, imbis na, instead of Moses will circumcise to his children, Sipora will circumcise to his children.
It is because Moses was irresponsible in that part.
Moses was irresponsible. So,
He
this
did
is
not take care of the circumcision.
yes.
God was about to kill Moses. So Zipporah hurriedly circumcised.
Circumcise his children.
Yes, so
Oh.
that God will not kill Moses.
Circumcision is a type of training as today. Brother Francis, am I right? So she circumcised to his children is part of training to him. But that in order that he could get it, when he was old to get married, he was already ready for her to be married It was the training of Zipporah. Zipporah was used by God as an helpmate to Moses. So, concerning the commandments or commission of Moses, is not the commission of Moses to circumcise his children. The commission of Moses is to bring out the people of Israel out of bondage in Egypt.
God instructed Moses to circumcise. It is just Moses was negligent. Similar to parents today, they are very negligent.
Yes.
He was not able to fulfill. So Zipporah hurriedly tried to catch up so that Moses will not be killed. There's a verse there that the angel wanted to kill him
Yes.
Yes.
because of not following the instruction.
So it is not because that Zipporah was not belong to the church, was the inbreeding or
It shows to us Zipporah was a helpmate. Our spouses should help us in things that we are negligent, that we are lacking.
yes.
If we are in default, they should help us to fill it out.
So this is not to speak about the interbreeding, or this is not because of Zipporah was not the like said Paul said that you did not equally yoke to the unbelievers. Zipporah
Was the original wife of Moses. So she is not, that is not the topic of Moses was forbidden to marry her.
no. So Zipporah is allowed by God to be married to Moses because of the certain task.
Zipporah is the perfect wife that is a helpmeet to Moses.
Yes. So that's all. Then,
Wait.
Francis.
Wait. God confronted only for the prophet to talk, but Aaron and Miriam not allowed it because in Exodus chapter 1 verse 12, God always spoke to the prophet.
I'd like to add something because my detractor will say the same thing. God does not only speak to you, God also speaks to us.
Because he
Now, I'd like to lay down some characteristics. If God will speak to you, you will not go against the one from whom you learn. Like me and Pastor Villadonsa. Okay, I still recognize him. But he was used of me. I invited him here to speak. And I brought all the pastors to his church. All the cogeo pastors to his church. I'm saying this because those who claim to be used of God undermined my ministry, undermined my reputation, undermined my influence.
you give the authority to that man.
I did not give any authority. He just did not want to report to me anymore. Just report to another higher, richer apostle. So, and the influence to people is hatred. Now, he will not admit that, but by their fruit, the tree is known by its fruit. What is the fruit? If people are hating you, I can prove it. But of course, he doesn't want to see the proof. Outwardly, he can say, I respect he was used for us, but secretly, cunningly, deviously, he influenced people to close their minds from checking out my evidences. So, if you are a valid continuation of the mouthpiece of God, you will not go against the one initially whom God has used, even if he commits a mistake. So David did not go against Saul. Miriam went against Moses. But Aaron repented from going against Moses. So that's a lesson. Okay.
I want to clear that. According to that,
could you stop there? Because for the record, could you stop there?
He talked only to the prophet. The Miriam and Aaron is not permitted to look at God. Because it said that I want to talk to mouth only to the prophet, but this man I cannot talk. I give to only the vision and dreams. So that Miriam and Aaron is asking, why you only to talk to God? Why me? Why us not to talk to God? That's why that Miriam and Aaron, he trying to look to God, and that when he attempt to look to God, he committed sin. That's why God giving to a punishment to out of that.
By the way, we use the word sariling diskarte.
It's
The
another
perfect English for that is self-righteousness.
yes, self-decision or self
Your own way.
Own way.
Your own way of worshiping God, your own way. So, Miriam and Aaron helped build the golden calf. You know that, right? They helped build the golden calf. It was their own way of worshiping God. So, it's a lesson in life. Did you get the message? We need to be Berean today to know to get the message. If you got the message, you will not try to make your own righteousness. Example, in our ministry. In our ministry, someone went out from us because he was attracted, they were attracted to other big-time end-time churches. Now, they are in the traditional ministry. They are attracted to the traditional ministry. They even look at our ministry as invalid. Theirs is the real ministry. The message we are teaching about training in the family, they look upon not as God's message. They look upon as human message. Man-made message. Human intelligence and that. So, we can easily prove it, but they don't want to prove it out. A Berean would want to prove all things. They're not using hit and run as far as run, avoid the scrutiny, avoid proving all things, changing evidences. So that's what happened to Miriam and the others. They do not want to reason out. And God gave down the judgment. Not just Miriam, there's Dathan and Abiram. Am I correct? The right word, the right name. Dathan, a princess of. They were princes in their tribes. Okay. Okay. Maybe someone has a question. Does anyone have a question? No question. What is the topic?
About
Please close the stop.